Good
Good
morning.
morning.
And how is everyone today?
Shh.
I am doing pretty good. I was very sleepy when I got up this morning, but other than that, I'm pretty good. It is 54 degrees where I'm at with a high of 58, so we've almost reached our high. That's
Oh
crazy.
wow.
Yeah, that's crazy actually.
Well,
I'm actually
I was up
crazy.
at, like I said, 5 o'clock with the pups, and it was chilly out there. I had to step back inside the door.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start
That,
keeping me a little jacket at the door.
that is chilly. My gosh.
Yeah,
I mean, you are going to need a jacket. Wow.
yeah.
I can't get over that. Chili, chili, chili willy. Wow.
hmm So, have you started any Thanksgiving preparations?
Other than thawing, excuse me, other than thawing the turkey,
Right.
no,
Oh.
no, those will start very early tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm.
The turkey will be put on, and then staggering throughout the day, we will put on the baked macaroni, which is macaroni and cheese.
Right.
Hello, Sandy.
Hello, Sandy, sweetheart, and there's Connie. How are you ladies this morning?
Connie. Hello, hello, hello. So it'll start with the turkey first, then the baked macaroni and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing that'll be cooked would be the mashed potatoes.
Right.
We'll have green beans, so that'll be good. But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to a big dinner tomorrow. But I will be eating on it probably for 4 days.
Well, that's
I
the
did.
best
I did.
thing. That's the best part, don't you think?
Well, I just ate off a meatloaf for 4 days. I don't know if I could do that.
Put
Well,
the
I
freezer.
I like I like poultry, so it makes me
Mm-hmm.
happy. But yeah, I am looking forward to it. So, Sandy and Connie, are you doing preparations for your dinner?
Yeah.
Inquiring minds want to know. I am very excited. You know, I sat there when I decided to put up my live. I called it Thanksgiving Eve because really this is the day before. But when I created my thumbnail, I sat down and I thought, what does Thanksgiving mean for me?
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean to me? And it means, hey, Tammy,
Hello, Tammy. How are you, sweetie?
Sandy's going to have a small dinner. So I sat down and I thought about it, what it meant to me. And it means to me to be grateful.
Oh, yes.
And that's what Thanksgiving means to me.
Well, when you think about the very first one
Mhm.
here, um, and the wonderful gathering, if it's true, which I'm sure it has to be, of the natives and the pilgrims that came over, those that survived, you know, I'm sure they were very thankful.
Oh, yes. Thawing out the turkey and we'll cook it overnight. You've got your turducken thawing out now. Going to be doing some other small things today. Hello, Amy. Good to see you.
Good morning, Amy. You sure did get a lot of snow.
Amy, are you doing preparations for your dinner? Yeah, it made me, yeah, I'm thankful. I think well, I mean, I thank the Lord every day,
Right.
but this is one day that we set aside and have a meal to be thankful for everything, for our freedom, for America. Um, I just, I'm thankful for everything. Everything the Lord's granted to me blessed me with. Um, I pray for our politicians because believe me, they need it. You know, I pray for my friends. I pray for my family. Uh, you have to.
Yep.
I pray for law enforcement. I pray for the military. It's what you have to do. And today is my day. Yes, well, tomorrow is my day of being grateful. Yes, I always pray for my family and friends
Yep.
to be happy, to be healthy, to be happy, healthy, and safe.
Oh,
That's
you're
what I.
working today.
Oh my!
Oh, you're going to be making now. When you say beans, are you talking about that green bean casserole? Are you talking about like red beans, pinto beans? What you going to be doing?
Red beans,
Oh,
white beans, green
yeah.
beans.
Cammy says she's not going to be doing anything till tomorrow. I bet then that means because you're going to have a late Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, mine will be around 4 or 5,
Yeah.
which is typically when we eat. If I eat too early, it causes me issues.
Right.
Um, Now, growing up, we had our meal at 2, but since being a diabetic, it's better for me to eat later.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we always ate around 4,
Mhm.
especially after mom and dad retired from the children's home. Um, because by that point, my older brother was already working up in, well, here in Dallas as a Dallas City police cop, and so he always took, I guess you could say, the day shift. No matter what his shift was, he always volunteered to work Thanksgiving Day so that other police officers could
Yes.
have Thanksgiving lunch, with their families. And it worked out perfect for mom because sometimes my husband could not get off, but we could scoot over there or up, depending on where we lived, to be there for Thanksgiving if the dinner was late enough in the afternoons.
Amy said, no, some call it cowboy beans. It will be in the crock pot to keep warm
Right.
overnight. Sandy said, if I eat early, I eat again later.
Yeah.
Um, it's not that I'll eat again later, it's that I will have to eat again later if I eat
Right.
early. Not that I want to. So if I eat, 4 to 5, I don't have to eat later
Right.
because I don't want to eat later. But blood sugar sometimes says, "You got to do what you got to
That's
do."
right.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to it. I really am looking forward to my dressing.
Oh,
You know,
yes.
I was reading about that, and dressing goes all the way back to Roman times, which I was reading that out loud with Maureen. I don't know if she heard everything,
Yes, I
but dressing
did.
goes back to the Roman times when it was, spiced bread cubes and stuff that was stuffed inside of a meat. It didn't
Mm-hmm.
matter what it was, but it was stuffed inside. I just found that fantastic that
Right.
they have done that. Um, in Roman times, even, wow. Back then, it was called Farsi, Farce,
Mm-hmm.
Farce. Um, and then, of course, as it's come up through the ages, it goes from that to stuffing to dressing.
Right.
And this day and age, they call it dressing. It will be
Oh,
my
that's
30th
right,
year
Amy.
being diabetic for the holidays. Well, turkey has won't affect you.
No.
It's what you put on the turkey that affects you.
Mm-hmm.
but your potatoes and your stuffings, um, green bean casserole. So if you have green beans with nothing on them,
You're
you're
good.
fine. But you should be fine. Just eat within moderation, and you'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay to have this one day. One or I say 4 days a year because of the different holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Which you got Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and your birthday.
Yeah.
It's okay to have those different days where you're going to splurge a little bit. Hey, James, I hope you're doing good. Been
Hello.
loving watching those games.
Good morning, James. How are you?
So it's okay to splurge a little bit on those few days because think about it. It's only 4 times a year,
Right.
you know? You use sweet potatoes instead of using regular potatoes. It depends on what you put on those sweet potatoes.
That's right. That's right.
So,
Leave off
you
the
know,
sugar and the maple syrup and the.
I just like a little bit of butter and salt and pepper. That's it.
And it's got to have a little cinnamon. It's got to have a little cinnamon.
I'm good with just butter, salt, and pepper. I
Yeah.
I do like cinnamon on it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm good with just butter, salt, and pepper. It's
Mm-hmm.
fine. They are actually better for you. I would have them replace my mashed potatoes.
Yeah. Well, we
Have
always have
mashed.
both.
I think they're fantastic. It looks like I'm having both.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Joey, and we're gonna have stuffing, sweet potatoes, mashed potatoes,
Ooh.
green beans. I mean,
Yeah.
baked macaroni. I mean, why?
Right.
A little bit of cinnamon and nutmeg.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, if I have the nutmeg and if I remember the nutmeg, but oh yes, most definitely the cinnamon.
I'm like, why? We don't need all that food.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if you make some of it staggering through the days we're having the turkey,
Well, there you go. Yeah. One day have the stuffing, next day the sweet
I'd be
potato. Yeah.
I'd be fine with that, but not all of that. My goodness. Well, I thought I would go ahead and give you guys this day in history on the live.
Woohoo!
Because I need to remember to take my tiny bites of foods. They don't eat much now. Sometimes I struggle to eat one chicken breast and I'm full. Wow.
That's good, Amy.
Sometimes I struggle to eat just one chicken because I want to eat two. I'm teasing. I'm teasing. I'm just teasing. So I thought I would give you guys this day in history for November the 26th. In 1922, archaeologists entered the tomb of King Tut. In Egypt's Valley of the Kings, British archaeologists Howard Carter and Lord Carnarvon become the first people to enter King Tutankhamun's tomb in more than 3,000 years. Tutankhamun's sealed burial chambers were miraculously intact, and inside was a collection of several thousand priceless objects, including a gold coffin containing the teenage king himself. I thought
Wow.
that was fantastic. So, as we go on, in 1950, Chinese counterattacks in Korea changed the nature of war. In 1864, Alice in Wonderland manuscript is sent as a Christmas present. In 1942, Casablanca premieres in New York. In 1933, vigilantes in California lynch two suspected murderers. In 1948, the first Polaroid camera is sold. In 1968, Air Force helicopter pilot rescues Special Forces team. And in 1941, Japanese task force leaves for Pearl Harbor. And you know me, I love words. So our first word is synchronicity. Synchronicity. Synchronicity is a noun. It is Latin and is from the 1950s.
Ooh.
It means the simultaneous occurrence of events which appear significantly related but have no discernible casual connection. That's
Oh, that's
interesting.
weird.
Yeah. It was a true matter of synchronicity when I happened to run into Samantha, just as I'd been thinking about her.
Oh, there
That's
you go. Okay.
what it means. So, our next word of the day is pergola. Pergola. It is a noun. It is Italian, mid 17th century. It is an arched structure in a garden or park consisting of a framework covered with climbing or trailing plants. And examples in a sentence. The wedding took place under the pergola covered in ivy and white flowers.
Oh,
Wow. I thought that was a beautiful way to describe that one.
yeah.
And of course, you know me, and I have to have my quotes. So I'm going to give a couple quotes today. This is from Joan Didion. If you have to pick the places you don't walk away from, oh, you have to pick the places you don't walk away from. You have to pick the places you don't walk away from. Well, okay. Whatever you want to do, that's good with me. And our next one is Yoko Ono, and she calls this hope. Don't ever give up on life. Life
Mm-mm.
can be so beautiful, especially after you've spent a lot of time with it.
That's
Don't
right.
ever give up on life. Life can be so beautiful, especially after you've spent a lot of time with it. That one was really good.
Yeah.
The first one,
Mm.
yeah. I love reading famous quotes. Um, you'd be surprised what famous quotes are out there. Um, C.S. Lewis has some amazing
I
quotes.
love him.
I love reading his quotes. He is an amazing man. Um, he used to meet with J.R.R. Tolkien at a pub,
Mm-hmm.
and they called themselves the Inklings, and they
Oh,
would be together and they would discuss stories
uh-huh.
that they were working on. Oh, to be a fly on the wall.
Isn't that the truth?
I'm way not old enough,
Mm-hmm.
but I would have loved to have been with them discussing story plots and um, maxims and what was going on in the day. You
Right.
know, that would have been a dream place to go.
Mm-hmm.
That would be like amazing.
Well, I used to
Um,
always tell my students when I was teaching English, whether it was poetry or reading, I said, because we got onto the discussion one day, how do people come up with all these ideas to write? And I said, well, many of their stories come from everyday life situations.
mhm,
Uh, I said, Shakespeare himself, all of his plays were political ridicule. And they're like,
yes,
what? I said, yes, all of his plays, especially his comedies. I said he was always poking fun at the monarchy, but it was done in such a way where it just flew over their heads. I said his
it,
tragedies also, not necessarily you want to call it poking fun, but was a warning to them as to the consequences of some of the decisions they were making for the lower classes.
right.
And so, even if you stop and think about it, all of the stories that we read, Harry Potter is a really good example, um, in that when the story idea was being developed, and okay, my thought left.
Well, okay. I do have one
Okay, go
um,
ahead.
with Tolkien and his wife. I mean, it's a beautiful love story.
Mm-hmm.
I urge you to go read the love story with Tolkien and his wife. When he came back from the war, he was laying. He was in a. He'd be sitting in a chair, or laying. It's like a lounge chair. The legs are. Makes me think of the chairs we used to sun ourselves in. The
Right.
legs are straight out, and the back is sitting up. Um, and as he was healing
Right.
after the war, and his wife would dance for him, not in a naughty way. She would get up and dance for him in the garden,
Mm-hmm.
um, amongst the trees and stuff. She would dance for him. It gave him an idea for a book. So he wrote this story of Lucien, and I can't pronounce the man's name very well. Bronin, I think is how you pronounce the man's name.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a beautiful love story. Well, in the story, Lucien dances for Bronin, just like his wife did. And it helps to heal Bronin.
Right.
Well, he writes the story based upon what his wife did to help heal him. Now, remember, back then when they were going through this in the war, they had no television. All they had was
Right.
radio and books. That was it. So she got up and danced to entertain him, to make him smile, to make him want to live, is a good way
Right.
to put it. So he wrote that story. He took from real life. He created a whole nother language, actually multiple languages, like Elvish and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A whole nother land, Middle Earth,
Right.
you know, and all of these characters, this whole nother place. But these characters were based upon people in his life,
Yep.
and that's how they got their characteristics, and they would resemble the people in his life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, I find that fascinating that he did that. Now, he never got to see how big
Right.
it would become. I mean, obviously the book sold and it did very well, but he never got to see, because the Lord of the Rings came first,
Mm-hmm.
and then came the Hobbit. He never got to see exactly how big it got,
Right.
because it's huge. I wish he would have been able to see.
Right.
What
Work with.
was the name of the book's name? Oh, what is the
What
name
was.
of the book's name? The Lucian and Broden's book. Hang on, I'll get the name of that. I think it's Other Tales by J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Other Tales by J.R.R. Tolkien, or Other Stories by J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yeah.
He is my favorite author of all time. I mean, for me, the Bible's number one. Number two is anything written by J.R.R. Tolkien.
What I was going to say is, the Harry Potter books, they're based on the fantasy life of a little
Yeah.
boy. You know what I mean? And was inspired so much by magic as well. So what better story to have than to be a little boy who finds out one day that he's a magician, or that he's a wizard, not a magician, excuse me, but that he's a wizard, and that he can perform magic, and now just needs to be taught how to work with it, how to control it, how to evolve with it. So there's just many, just stop and think of, I like to think of the funny situations in my life. Like something that happens with one of my kids. There were times when I used to say, I should be writing this down. This would make a great book. Mm-hmm.
I have several times. My sister has tried to get me to write a book.
Right.
Uh, I have a hard time getting it from here to paper.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Um, but yet my sister has said, "Oh my gosh, since I was in my 30s, I should write a book." Just based, even if it's just
Mm-hmm.
based on the little antics of my children. But She thinks I should. Now she loves the fact I
Right.
do, because I can talk about the, silly things. It's like, we went to the grocery store and got our regular
Mhm.
staples. You need to get milk and bread, and we'd left it, the bread on the table and put the milk up, and we're in the living room, and all this, my son paddles off, and he's quiet,
Yeah, that's when it's dangerous.
and I look at my ex-husband, and he looks at me, and hmm, which one of us
Yeah.
is going to check? So I go in there. It was always going to be me.
Hello,
Hi, Gypsy.
Jesse. How you doing, sweetie?
So I go in there in the kitchen, and he's trying to get in the sink. I didn't have a dishwasher. I had to wash dishes by hand. He's trying to get in the sink to the dishwater. And bless his heart, he couldn't reach. So he put the loaf of bread down on the floor to stand on it to reach into the sink.
I bet y'all
He
had
took,
love toast.
no, we couldn't even do that because he took an entire loaf of bread and flattened it.
Oh, so he stood it long ways.
No, no, he laid it down like normal, and he kept
Okay.
stepping on it and stepping on it and stepping on it and stepping on it and stepping on it, trying to get higher and higher and higher. And unfortunately, it ended up almost completely flat.
Wow.
Yeah, he had to get new bread. I fed that to the birds.
Oh, well,
Um,
yeah. It's the only thing you
yeah,
can do with it then.
yeah, and I couldn't punish him because I'm like, "What are you doing? Help mommy."
He's going to do the dishes.
I
Oh,
said,
how
"But you're
sweet.
standing on the bread. Help mommy." Bless his heart.
Oh,
He tried.
goodness. His heart was in the right place, Mommy.
Yes, but he was just, he thought that he could reach the sink with standing on the bread.
Mm-hmm.
That was Roy.
Yeah.
That was Roy standing on the bread. God bless him. Yeah, my husband at the time, he couldn't take his lunch the next day.
Well,
There was no bread.
it's the same with Pooh Bear. What's his name? I said Pooh Bear because that's what Daddy used to call my youngest sister. Uh, has Tigger and Piglet
And Rue
and
and
Rue.
Eeyore and
Mm-hmm.
Eeyore. Hmm.
Yep. The imaginings of a little boy and his bear, and he just makes a whole story and life, and poof, there you
Christopher.
go. Mm-hmm.
It's like Frank Albaum. Was it his niece that was sick? And he went over and started telling her stories
Mm-hmm.
to help her get well.
Right.
And it's either his daughter or his niece. And he ends up having to write them down. And then we ended up with The Wizard of Oz.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. It's interesting. I mean, you get the same thing with Roald Dahl, with any of his books. He's the one that wrote James and the Giant Peach and the
Okay.
Big Friendly Giant.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, I like him. He's fantastic. Um, his you need to read his books, his children's books, not the movies. Um, it to me, he should be as big as Frank Albaum.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's not in line with C.S. Lewis. That's C.S. Lewis is a little bit different.
Right.
He has a religious overtone, but he should be as big as Frank Albaum, and he's not. Um, Ronald Dahl, Dahl,
Mm-hmm.
is phenomenal with his storytelling. I would read his books to the kids. They loved the Big Friendly Giant. It's actually called the BFG, and it's about the Big Friendly Giant. and
Mm-hmm.
that was their favorite. I used to read it to them.
Oh, how
Yeah,
cool.
they loved that. He's got another one, and it's actually a mainstream book that you guys know. What is his? What did he write? Hang on, it's a mainstream story. Ronald Dahl books. Thank you. It's Roald, Roald Dahl. Matilda.
Oh,
Yes, he wrote Matilda. Yep, he wrote the Matilda books. Um, he wrote the Gremlins for children. It ended up being for Disney. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. He wrote a book, and it became a very famous movie that's been remade two other times. He wrote Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
oh my word. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm like, what's the movie? What's the movie? I can see it in my head.
Mm-hmm.
What's the movie? He wrote Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Ah, Sandy says you should write a list of authors' names so we can start reading them. They seem to be great stories.
Well, honey,
A
when
lot of
you when
these, go ahead.
you know them, you know them. Hey Kelly, you know them because you know the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
That's
So
right.
when you see that movie, go, oh, who wrote it? And then
Right.
you go, what else did they write?
That's right.
When you see the movie The Lord of the Rings, because well, there's three of those.
Right.
You go, well, who wrote it, and what else did he write?
Mm-hmm. And you'll be surprised sometimes.
You see Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and you go, who wrote it, and what else did he write?
That's right. Because a lot of times, it's only maybe one book that really gets out there and the public becomes fascinated with that overshadows some of their other works. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Uh, Now, not all, well, no, more times than what we think, honestly. It's very rare, it honestly is, for an author to have a book made into a movie. It really is.
it's
And
very rare.
yeah, it really is. We have lots of great writers that have lots of wonderful books. We read them all the time, but never make them into movies.
Hundreds and thousands of fantastic writers,
Yep.
prize winning writers, but they don't get made into movies.
Mm-mm.
Um, the three that I'm talking about, Dahl, C.S. Lewis, and Tolkien, they've all been deceased before
Right.
theirs were made into movies.
Yep.
Uh, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is so close to the book, it's phenomenal. The
And that's
original
another
Charlie
thing.
and the Chocolate
Yeah.
Factory.
Yeah.
Um, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is missing a few things, but I'm actually not mad at it.
No.
Um, the Lord of the Rings, I'm kind of mad at because it's missing some critical things. I do understand why they didn't put them in there because the
Right.
movie would be
Would
so
be
long nobody
forever.
would watch
Yeah.
it.
Well, it's the same way with all the Harry Potter
Yeah,
book. You know,
they're missing stuff.
my oldest daughter read the books before she watched the movies. In fact, before the movies even came out. And so she was extremely excited whenever we went to the theater to see the very first one. What is it? The Sorcerer's Stone?
Grocery Stone.
And she'd be sitting there and she'd turn and look at me and she'd say, Mommy, that's not right.
I know.
It's okay. It's okay. Mommy, that doesn't come next. This does. And she would go on. And when we walked out of there, she was such an angry little girl. She was like, they didn't do the story right. And it was hard for us to explain to her that if they put everything that was in the book, it would have been a 5-hour movie, or they'd had to have made part one, part two, which was something they did not do back then, you know?
Hey, Tashira.
Good morning, Tashira. How are you? Happy Thanksgiving Eve.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving Eve. They have to eliminate some things.
That's
And I
right.
understand that. That's why my son, Roy, who read the books long before the movies, he won't even watch the movies.
Oh,
He got disappointed with the first one, won't watch the rest. And I don't blame him. But I can take hey, Mary,
good morning, Mary. How are you?
I could take the movie and look at it separately
Mm-hmm.
from the book. I'm going to give you, for instance, The Shining. That is a Stephen King novel. I'm going to give you exactly one of the different, not all the differences, because there's a lot. One of the differences: Stanley Kubrick's The Shining and Stephen King's The Shining. So Stanley Kubrick's is the movie. Stephen King wrote the book. In the book, there is no maze. There is no bush
Yeah.
maze. There is animal topiaries. So, if you know what a topiary is,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a tree, but they're animal shaped topiaries that come alive.
Right.
They could have done that in the movie and it would have been phenomenal, but they put a maze in instead. I don't know why,
I think
but
probably because of the
expense.
well, not only that, but what is it? The technology they had at the time.
True,
Yeah.
true.
That I
No,
mean, that's what I think of because whenever they made the Star Wars, took the Star Wars books and just did the middle three, four, five, and
yeah.
six. And then, lo and behold, here we decide to tell the whole story. So we're going to start back at book 1, 2, and 3. Well, I remember thinking, no, you're not going to do that to me. That's another series my daughter read. You're not going to do that to me. You should have started with book 1. And my
I know.
oldest daughter had to explain to me, Mother, they didn't have the technology back then to really show, to make all of it work. So they had to wait until the technology evolved enough. And I was like, I don't care. So
That's the truth.
yeah, I have been a little lax in going back and watching 1, 2, and 3.
They couldn't have
Yeah.
Insidious, which was the robot dude that
No,
had
that's right.
all the
Mm-hmm.
spinning lightsabers.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I get it with The Shining, but I can take both of them and separate them.
Mm-hmm.
I get Stephen King's. It's a fantastic book, one of my favorite books he ever wrote. And I can watch Stanley Kubrick's movie and not be upset about it because the movie is very well made.
Right.
Um, it's like Cujo. In the movie Cujo, you hate the dog, you want to kill the dog, to have the dog gone because the dog's got rabies and it's attacking the
Mm-hmm.
mother and the child, and you feel bad for the child. In the book, you feel sorry for the dog, which is surprising,
Yeah.
but you do have sympathy for that dog in the book. A lot of sympathy for the dog because the dog is really suffering with the rabies.
Yeah.
And it's not like you go in a dog's head, but you understand how that dog is feeling, why that dog's doing what he's doing, because the most minute sound is really loud to that
Right.
dog. That dog's in pain.
Mm-hmm.
You really do feel sorry for the dog. It's just when they adapt. Now, Stephen King is mad at the majority of his books that have been made into movies. He's
Right.
mad because he doesn't like the adaptations.
Mm-hmm.
But he shouldn't complain because of all the authors who've had their books made into movies. He's probably had the most movies made out of his books.
Well,
Next to
and
J.K.
two,
Rowling.
And two, you do as an author, if you, excuse me, agree to have your books made into a movie, um, you do agree to give up some, or you
Yeah.
you agree to turn over some creative licensing by
Yes.
the excuse me,
By the
producer.
director and the producer.
Yes, you do. And
You
sometimes,
do.
honestly, when you stop and think about it, what's happening in a book many times is hard to translate, whether because of technology, the sequence of events. I mean, sometimes it's just really hard to take and turn everything into a real life scenario. It just is, especially when you're looking at
Oh, absolutely.
fantasy.
It would be very hard to turn it into a movie. A good example of that, Fantasia.
Oh, yes.
Making Fantasia a live action movie.
Oh, that, yeah.
They'd have to do it with CGI,
Mm-hmm.
which is computer generated
Yes.
graphics.
Images.
Yeah, computer generated images. They'd have to do that because there's no other way they could do it.
Mm-mm. Nope.
It could not be live action otherwise.
Although,
The
with the advent and everything of I bet it would not surprise me if in the next few years we don't see that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad he likes the fact. Now, see, that's awesome. He's another one of my favorite authors. So
Yeah.
you think he got used to the changes he made, or someone told him he needed to be careful what he was saying,
Right.
which wouldn't surprise me either. I mean, that wouldn't surprise me either. But yeah, no, but I mean, they have to be careful sometimes with some of the things they try to portray.
Right.
The book adaptation of The Color Purple was very good. The
Yeah. It was.
adaptation into a movie. That was
Yeah.
very good, and it was very good acting.
Mm-hmm. I
Just some
remember
things you can do.
reading that book. Oh my gosh. Was trying to remember. I think I was in junior high, not real sure. Um, and then later on, it became a reading requirement for my freshman in high school. So we read it, and then I don't know how many years later it was that it came out in movie format. And I so wanted to, I really loved whenever we would study a book, if there was a movie form of it, to then later show the kids how the book had been adapted into movie form, just for them to, now what, remember what it was you pictured in your mind when we were reading the story. Now at let's look at it in movie format. And sometimes the kids were very impressed. And then, just like my daughter, sometimes they were like, well, it didn't happen that way, or they left this out, or you know what I mean? But yeah, that was one that I couldn't show in class.
Yeah, we in English in my freshman year, we we read Fiddler on the Roof,
Mm-hmm.
and we watched Fiddler on the Roof.
Right.
And I remember not liking it. Not liking it.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. That is because of my teacher
Right.
and the way she explained it is how I developed the ability to separate the movie from the book,
Right. Yeah.
um, which was awesome. So she really helped me to understand that I needed to keep that we all needed to
Right.
separate them. And movie's a movie, a book is a book. They
Mm-hmm.
don't have to match exactly,
Yeah.
which
I agree.
helped.
Go ahead.
No, I said which helped me.
Really? Oh my goodness. She said Kelly says the only book I despised having to read in high school was Lord of the Flies. Oh my
Really?
goodness.
Oh my.
Yeah.
My
Well, I can
favorite
understand
book
why.
I
I
read.
mean, honestly, I can. I can
Well,
understand
I mean,
why.
yeah. My
But,
favorite book I read in high school was A Tale of Two Cities.
mm-hmm,
Hard to believe, but that ended up being my favorite.
yeah. And
I like
Sandy, I am
George
like
Shakespeare.
you. I always like the books a lot better. And I'm going to tell you why. I love being able to conjure up in my own mind the
Yes.
imagery that the author is trying to get across. I honestly think, and that this is from a teacher's perspective, that many times our students themselves, because this has happened where a lot of movies have come out and then somebody's decided to go back and write a book.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And I cannot off the top of my head think of one, but there have been many of our movies, probably more so in
Thank you
the
so much,
in
Kira.
the in the late 90s to about 2015.
Okay, here's
A lot
one.
of our movies came out and then the book followed it instead of the other way around. You got an
Jaws.
example?
Jaws.
Oh, I
The
didn't know they
movie.
made that one into a book.
Hmm. Jaws came out first, and then the book by Peter
Okay, well,
Benchley.
see, I didn't know that one. Yeah.
Hmm. Same thing with Amityville Horror.
Now that one I knew. Yeah.
I mean, that was a movie long before it was a book. Jaws was a movie long before it was a book. So yeah, there's quite a few.
Yeah.
Actually, many, many, many books like that. Hmm.
Yeah. My students used to say when we would start a new story, or we'd be looking at something, is there going to be a movie after this? And I'd say, well, if we have time, yes, but we're going to study the book first.
You had to read it again at your new school. Bless your
Oh,
heart.
no, Kelly.
Hey, Heidi. Good
Hello,
to see
Heidi,
you.
sweetheart. So you got a really you
In-depth
you were
study.
truly educated into the meaning of that book, weren't you? Bless your heart. And I mean that in the sincerest way possible, sweetie.
And believe it or not, I actually liked reading War and Peace. And everybody always jokes about it because it's real thick and
Uh-huh.
oh, that's awful, horrible. No, it's not. It's good
No,
reading.
it is.
It's takes place in Russia,
Mm-hmm. I tell you
and
one that was very hard for me to read through. I did eventually get through it, was Exodus.
hmm.
I'd pick it up, put it down. Pick it up, put it down. Yeah. It took me probably a year or more to read through that book. But I think too, for me personally, looking back, I started at way too early an age reading it.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah,
I think Wuthering Heights is harder to read than War and Peace.
it is. Most
Hmm.
definitely it is.
I
And
do.
I'm sorry, it is very much toned down in the movie.
Oh yeah, it's way toned down in the movie. The book is dry.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can put it to you. The book is very dry and very slow moving.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's
I've
not an
tried
action thriller. Yeah.
I've tried audiobooking it
Yeah.
and speeding up, and I still have a problem. Oh, you've been here waking up. I borrowed Mom's Gone with the Wind. I like the book and the movie.
Uh,
I have a very good friend that loves Gone with the Wind.
Oh, yes. She is a
Well,
Gone with the Wind. Oh, my word, fanatic. I bet if she could have lived back in that time period, she would have been ecstatic.
I got her the Gone with the Wind Barbies. Yes, there are Gone with the Wind Barbies,
Oh, well,
and I
yes.
got
Why wouldn't there be?
and she loved them. She's probably watching us on her TV, so she
Mm-hmm.
can't comment. But bless her heart, I know how much she loves the Gone with the Wind. I've never seen someone love Gone with the Wind so
Yeah.
much. Oh, Gone with the Wind is phenomenal.
And I'm just going to interject in here. Good morning, Leslie here. Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry. Honestly, in getting to know this person, if she'd have lived back in that time period, folks, she would have made a phenomenal Scarlet. She really would have.
She said, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Well, it's everything else
She would
about
have said
Scarlet in
that.
that book. That's right. That's right.
She would have said that, even though that's not her line. I could just see her now saying that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, oh my gosh.
I could see her
She was
turning
saying,
red
okay,
when saying that. Frankly,
that's exactly what I said. I see her bitching about having to wear the curtains.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't wearing my curtains. Bless her heart. Oh no, she loves Gone with the Wind and it's phenomenal. She has a Gone with the Wind bag and it's perfect. I think it's amazing what she has and what she's done.
My my stepdaughter got me into the Twilight series. Oh my
Oh,
goodness, God, yes. I normally don't gravitate to that kind of genre, but
yeah.
it was one of those that I'm not kidding you. She was like on book 2. Yes, and so I took home book 1 to read through it. And guys, I'm not kidding you. It was like almost a 24, 36-hour marathon for me. I couldn't put the darn thing down. And then of course
Now
we
I
read
haven't
book
read
2.
them.
You have or haven't?
I've not.
Oh,
I've seen the movies. I haven't
mhm.
read.
No, 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 no. You need to go back now and read the books. Oh my word, they're phenomenal. They really, really are. Um, so yes, I was like her. I got through with the book and I said, "Are you through with book 2?" And she laughed at me and she said, "I'm almost through." So that she would buy the books and they literally made the
Oh, they
round
wrote.
in
Yeah.
the family, in the family. Yeah. So then when the movies came out, oh my goodness, you talk about just wanting to go to see them. And of course we did. My oldest daughter, she is one of those that has to read. If there's a book out there, she wants to read the book before she
Yeah.
sees the movie. I mean, she is very adamant about that.
Well, I'd rather read the book.
Mm-hmm.
I would. Now,
Yeah.
like I read Anne Rice's interview with the vampire and stuff. I read all that.
Nah.
That's much better than the movie.
Good morning, Michelle, sweetie.
Hey, Michelle. Oh, okay. I will get the Twilight books then.
Yeah.
But where I'm from, vampires don't sparkle.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying. Uh-huh. I'm just saying. That's probably why I didn't get them because I never seen no vampires sparkling. It's kind of weird. But no,
Oh,
I
you
like
went
it.
to
You
the
read
eye
that?
doctor.
Oh,
Okay, sweetie.
good. Good. I hope it went well. I do. I hope it went really good, sweetheart.
Yeah.
No, I was just teasing.
Mhm.
Look at that. We got onto books. One of my favorite things.
Yeah.
I have favorite things. I love frogs. I love snowmen. I love books. Obviously, I
Okay, well,
love
then
yarn.
I have to ask, since we're on the topic of books.
Mhm.
What's your favorite way to read them?
A real book.
Mm-hmm.
A real paper, paper book. That's my favorite.
Oh, Sandy
And,
says that's the one I want to get. Interview with the Vampire.
oh, it's good. Hey, Laura.
Good
What do you
morning,
mean?
Laura, sweetie. How are you?
My favorite way to read them is curl up in my chair when it's raining. Is that what you mean?
Kelly says they're making a series. That's right, a series out of the Harry Potter books now in the UK. It'll air on Max in 2027. Each book gets its own season. Oh, wow. So hopefully
Nice.
our Potter kids will find them much more fulfilling. Well, that by making those books into a series, hopefully a lot that had to be left out of the movies themselves will now be incorporated.
Maybe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness.
Well, they are supposedly, you heard it here, supposedly they are making a standalone movie about Gollum.
Really? Oh, wow. My daughter will
I'm like
definitely jump on that
excited.
one. Yeah, my oldest
I'm like,
daughter will be, yeah.
I love Gollum. Now, I have to tell you, like, my favorite character obviously is Bilbo, but my second favorite character is Gollum.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited. I have to make a whole thing about him. I actually,
Well, it'd be nice to see a story,
I like,
to
I like to quote
see,
movies. I
to
like to quote
see it.
movies, and I quote him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Sneaking, I ain't been sneaking.
Yeah.
What you been doing? Sneaking. I love Gollum.
Mm-hmm.
He was a victim of the ring, so
Yeah.
it wasn't his fault. He ended up doing what he did.
No.
Plus, he kind of resembles a frog, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it would be amazing. I do. I know. Isn't he amazeballs? I know. A lot of Audible. I trust me. I listen to a lot of Audible.
Yeah.
I have The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings in leather
Yeah.
back in leather editions. Um, I started reading The Hobbit when I was 11 years old. Yes, that old.
Well, my
Yeah,
daughter read The Hobbit before she ever read The Lord of the Rings. And
I
she,
did.
when her son Warren started reading books and that kind of thing, and he wanted to read The Lord of the Rings, and she said, "You cannot read The Lord of the Rings yet. You have to read The Hobbit."
The Hobbit.
Well, and that was the only way she would get him the books. And she even told his teachers at school he cannot read The Lord of the Rings until he's read The Hobbit. And they were
I would
like, okay, she didn't
I
want
would
him
ride
taking them out. Mm-hmm.
I would ride my bike to the library because it was right down the end of my road, and I was going to the library constantly. And I mean,
Right.
I was going through books. So my dad's like, "Go to the library."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was going through books like water, like you wouldn't
Right.
believe. So I had the librarian said, "I have a book I think you'll like,"
Oh.
and it was The Hobbit,
Mm-hmm.
and oh my gosh, once I picked it up, I couldn't put it down. My dad
Right.
would come in and tell me at night, "You got to go to bed.
Yeah.
Put
Uh-huh. Yeah.
down."
Yeah.
That was hard. I mean, I was up in the middle of the night reading. So, yeah.
Sandy, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you.
You have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family and friends, and hope
Yes.
to see you tomorrow for just a little bit. I will be live in the morning at my usual time slot. I know a lot of you will be cooking and getting ready, possibly traveling or welcoming family in, but nothing else. Maybe you could just turn me on and keep me in the background, but I will be live tomorrow.
Yes. I'll be live with her. So please come and join us tomorrow over on
Yeah.
Maureen's channel. Awesome.
Yep. Yep.
Yes. I enjoy talking about books. I love books.
Yeah.
Um, we donated a good portion of my collection to the library, my
Yeah.
hardbacks anyway,
Mm-hmm.
um, because I had so many books and I'd lost most of my eyesight.
Right.
But I still will pick up a paper book and read it. I can't get rid of the love of a book in
Yeah.
the hand,
Got to feel it. Got to hear the paper as it turns. Uh-huh.
the
Yeah.
smell, the smell of the
Yes,
book.
that
I
too.
can't explain that. It's great. So,
Yeah.
but if you could lead us off, we'll go ahead and go for the day so they can get ready.
Thank you all so much for being here. We do hope that as you celebrate Thanksgiving here over the next several days, because I know many of you will be traveling or having family in, please remember to be thankful. Count your many blessings. And one of those being that we love you and we appreciate you supporting us every time that you come in when we pop up. So as always, remember to be the light out there in the darkness for someone today, because you never know. Could be your special light they're waiting to see.
Well, we hope that you will join us tomorrow in the morning over at My Crochet Story for the live, and over on Southern Sisters on Friday.
That's right.
So stay safe, be kind to one another, and happy yarning. Love you
Love you
guys.
guys.